All right, guys, I know you're seeing the title of this video right now and you're like, damn, I thought this kid only won. But yeah, today's Friday, February 7th. In this video, I'm gonna go over the live session of my day today. You guys are about to witness live this day right here, which is negative 750. With fees, it was negative 837, I believe. So yeah, we took a hit today. It probably could have been avoided, and I'm gonna show you guys in this video what I mean by that. Before I start, I will say that we had data coming out at 9. Let me just pull this up one time for you guys. Okay, so you can see right here, this is the data we had today. So we had at 9, the University of Michigan consumer sentiment. This always seems to move markets a good amount. And then later on, I don't know why this is a yellow folder. It seems like it should be something orange or red, but either way, Fed monetary policy report. So to give you guys some context, my plan for today, just like yesterday, my plan was I wanted to long dips as long as they were above the demand level that was at 60.66. So I was bullish on the day, and I also knew we were approaching supply at 61.27, and there was another one up at 61.45. So that was my plan in terms of levels. All of that being said, my plan for today was to wait till after 9, which for me, I'm Central Time once again, so wait till after 9 to look for entries, and that's what I did. Would have probably waited till after 10 or just decided to not even trade today due to the FOMC speakers and the monetary policy report. All right, so like I said, I was not interested in anything before 9. So let me just skip to where the data comes in at 9. You're gonna see a super sharp sell-off. So boom, here I'll show you guys in real time since I know you probably wanna see it. All right, so look, data's about to release right here. This is why you wouldn't take a trade right before data, because you're gonna see what can happen. Like boom, that's pretty much 20 points in legitimately 1 second. So this is why I don't like to have positions open before data unless it's something that's stupid obvious that I have to take, and then it can't be like within the same 10 minutes before data. It has to be like around 8:45 or in that area. So I didn't see anything before data. And then obviously we just got a 30-point sell-off in 1 second. And this is where things start catching my eye, because I wanted to see dips get bought up, right? So my first execution's at 9:07. I'm now looking for an opportunity to get long, and that is my plan. So if I remember correctly, we see a little bit of volume. So we see some buying volume come in here, and I let it set up like a rebid. And you'll see, I'm in my Discord just typing to other people right now. And let me see if I definitely didn't take anything yet, but all right, so this is my first entry of the day. It's at 9:07, like I said, and I'm seeing some buying come in. This honestly is probably not the most significant buying, but my plan was to look for dips. So I basically set this up like a rebid. I set this up as if it were to be a rebid, I should say. So what I'm doing is I want to see how selling volume holds where these buyers came in right here. And once again, these could have been shorts covering their positions, or these could have been new buying, but this is the first entry that I took today. So it was just under a 4-point loss. I think you guys can see my face, right? No, you can't. So I'm gonna minimize myself and you guys can watch me. So it looks like I'm about to take it. I think I take it right here.
Order filled.
All right, so one comment on this entry already is that my invalidation point is all the way down here at like 86.50. And I just took an entry at 95.75. So that means my stop loss should really be down here 10 points below my entry. And I'm obviously not going to risk 10 points because I like to risk between 2 to 4 points or less if I can. And things just are getting very volatile, and these are the conditions where you want to size down and you want to allow for your stop loss to be at a point of invalidation, which in this case mine is not. So the first issue with this first entry is my stop loss is at a point that does not invalidate my thesis. All right, so here's where I get stopped out, right here. So my first entry was at 907. I get stopped out at 910, and my second entry is at 911. And you'll see me get stopped out in 1 minute, but I want to comment on this before I even play it because it's important. So if you're new here, one of the flaws that I have in my trading is I will get stopped out and I'll re-enter immediately. And this is, in this case, this is due to me not having my stop loss at a point of invalidation on the first entry. So had I had a proper entry with the proper stop loss on the first entry, I might have, one, I would still be in this first position, but if I did get stopped out of the first entry, I wouldn't have taken this one,
Order filled,
which in turn would have saved me $200 or 1R. So I just get in because I see this buying volume come in, as you can see by the buying volume spike right here. And it's still above the point of invalidation where these buyers started. So I decided what happens is I get stopped out, like I got stopped out and then I re-entered way too quickly. But yeah, that gets stopped out immediately and that leads to another little leg down. My third entry of the day is at 921. So let me skip up to there real quick. All right, so we're approaching my third entry of the day, which is at 921. And I can tell you right now that, so yeah, you're seeing me right now setting up where this buying initiated at. Looks like it's from 60.81 to around 60.85. And what I want to see here is I want to see selling pressure get absorbed, or I want to see selling that's met with aggressive buying right away. This is my first time replaying the session, so let's see what happens after that selling volume came in real quick. So you see that volume just come in right there?
order filled,
I enter, and at this point my stop loss should be below 82, which is still just above 4 points. Once again, it was another like improper risk because technically my stop was like a tick higher than my invalidation point. But this trade lasts for about 10 minutes, so I'm just gonna skip through here and see what happened. So it looks like we got bid up to like 92 area, 93, and I'm definitely feeling better about this one because I remember at the same time, VIX seemed like it was kind of falling back over below yesterday's high. So that led me to believe that if we could possibly get VIX moving down and rejecting yesterday's high, that could fuel this rally up to 6,100 and then 61.15. I was targeting 6,100, which was just around VWAP. That's where I planned on taking half off. And then I also planned on taking the other half at 6,115, like I said, which is right where this buy or selling really initiated at. So if I remember correctly, I moved my stop to break even because we got up just around 8 points and I was like, I don't want to go red on this because it was definitely a more volatile day. And you guys are going to see why. All right, so boom, got stopped out for break even right here. And I remember a little rally happening after that. But I did fight the urge to re-enter at a bad price, so that was good. If anybody is lost right now, my first entry was almost a full R loss. My second entry was a full R loss. My third entry was a break even, and I just got stopped out right here on the break even trade. So my next entry is at 9:45. I'm just gonna get up to that real quick. I'm about to take my fourth entry at 9:45, and it looks like I get stopped out in literally like 1 second. So that'll be fun to watch. But so what I'm thinking right now is I'm still thinking that this could possibly bounce. So price is still trading above these two blue lines, which is the initiation point for these buyers down here. And looking back at this, you can see by the CVD that this buying is pretty insignificant and I probably should not have been traded. So it looks like I'm about to take another entry right here and you'll see me get stopped out in literally 1 second. I was seeing this effort sellers are putting in. And once again, I wanted to take it long because it seemed like we were bouncing off these, where this buying started at by the blue lines. So I'm pretty sure what happens is some buying volume comes in, I enter, and then it gets sold into immediately, and I get stopped out. So what you guys are about to see is some buying volume come in. I'm gonna take a position, and then it's gonna get sold into immediately.
Order filled.
And I will be stopped out. So you can see I took a position right there, 60.87.25, and watch the selling come in and match those buyers right there. So boom, all that buying that just came in pretty much just got eaten up right there, and more is gonna come in. So I'm just like, once
Stop
again,
filled.
if you look at the last three trades, or honestly, no, all of the trades that I took today, my stop loss was technically not at a place that invalidated my thesis. So that is one way I could have avoided all of these losses, or at least three of them or I won't say three, at least two of them so far. If I would have just had my stop loss, at a place that invalidated my thesis, I could have saved myself two losses already today. And then my final entry is at 9:47, and this is straight up a FOMO entry. So you can see one more time, we bounced off of those initiative buyers that I have marked out by the blue lines. You're gonna see me FOMO into a position in about 1 minute, and that one takes a little bit to stop out, like 4 minutes to stop out. So I'm thinking, all right, I'll try it one last time, and if this doesn't work, I'm out of here. It's kind of looking like it might possibly work out, and I'm hoping it does right here. So for all of these, the last three entries, or I guess in this case, the last four entries, including the one that I'm in, I was targeting 6100 with 5 contracts, and then I was targeting 6115 with 5 contracts. So after this trade, I get stopped out. And so currently, while I'm in this trade, there is a FOMC member speaking right now, which I completely forgot about. And you are gonna see, I don't know what was said, but you are about to see this thing sell off like another 30 points in 1 second. And that is how my final trade of the day got stopped out. After that happens, I will tell you guys what I could have done better today, and I will sum this recap up for you guys. All right, so look,
Stop filled.
I don't know what was said right there, but something was said by the FOMC speaker, and that just caused the market to sell off like this. 20 points so far in 1 second, and I believe it goes down another like 10 or maybe 15. So that's how my final trade of the day gets stopped out. There you see me cancel on all my orders, and I export my data in a second here, and I'm just done for the day. That's what my February 7th consisted of. So I did make a few mistakes today that were key, and my first mistake and the biggest mistake that I made was all of my trades, every single one of them, my stop loss was not at a point that invalidated my thesis. So I could have avoided a few losses that way by making sure that my stop loss was at a point of invalidation. And two, I avoided taking the entry till 9 because we had data, but I completely forgot about the speakers at 9:30 and then more data at 10. So in hindsight, I probably should have said, okay, this is just not worth trading today. I truly do think that had I put my stop loss at a point of invalidation on the first and second trade, and I avoided the FOMC speakers and the data release at 10, I could have walked away with probably 2 losses on the session instead of 4, which would have saved me $400 in P&L. In hindsight, it's all 2020. It's easy to say stuff like that and say, I should have just done this, had I known this, but that's not what matters, because what happened happened. And moving on from this, what I have to do is I take the lessons that I learned, which is get my stop loss at a place of invalidation or don't take the trade. And be aware of the people speaking or the data that's coming out. Avoid trading before those events. That's what I'm gonna leave you guys off on. Like, comment, and subscribe if you want more of these, and I will catch you guys in the next one.